and Italy. 2 horses from France, and that comprise the 8-horse field. Not too many other races at Yonkers start this way with the starting car out in front. As we mentioned, Kit Lobel, the defending champion. Meadow Roland has the rail, and we'll talk about this a little bit more. Meadow Roland, the 3-time winner of the Copenhagen Cup. 2 horses from France. Scenic Regal, by the way, a house favorite here at Yonkers, was the also eligible into this race in case any of the horses scratched. It is raining, as it did last year for the International Trot. So Mother Nature has not been as kind to us on International Trot Night as she has some of the other nights of the summer that we have had here at Yonkers Raceway, because it has been a very hot and humid summer.
And Gary, horses, you have to take a look at them here to see how they handle this somewhat strange post-parade. Most are used to the usual way that you bring horses out, they trot down, they prepare for the race, but with all the pomp and circumstance of International Night, it changes the post-parade around, and you might be able to pick up on if it affects any of the horses the way that they're doing things differently tonight.
As we get ready to bring you this post-parade, the 32nd International Trot started at Roosevelt Raceway, was there for 29 years when Roosevelt folded. Yonkers Raceway picked up the International, and it has been at Yonkers for the past 3 years. As we begin from the rail, from post position 1, representing Denmark, a 7-year-old bay horse by 3-time Horse of the Year Neverly Pride, owned by Michael Ducar, Studere Focus, and the EH Denmark stable. This foreign competitor was the Horse of the Year in Denmark as a 4-year-old and is the only 3-time winner of the prestigious Copenhagen Cup, trained and driven by Preben Kiersgaard. Let us welcome to the International Trot, Meadow Roland.
Gary, we talked to Preben Kiersgaard prior to the race. He was upset with some of the housing and problems that he had coming in this week, but you cannot argue with 6 for 7 this year. The horse looks to be in fine shape, and I saw him warming up and he looked like a gorilla on the track.
From post position 2, representing France, a 7-year-old bay horse by Ejacaval, owned and trained by Bernard Desmontil. This champion captured the European Championship on June 14th in Vincennes and has won close to $1.5 million in his career. Driven by Yves REVE UDON.
Gary, we've seen many a great horse come over from France, and REVE UDON is no exception. He's won 5 of 7 this year and over 1.4 million lifetime. This is a horse that has run against the best in the world, and he's up to this stakes competition here.
From post position 3, getting ready to come out of the chute at Yonkers Raceway. It's a nice round of applause for Meadow Roland. Post position 3, representing Sweden, a 6-year-old bay horse by Able Mission, owned by the Sobre stable of Vagnard, Sweden. This entrant won the $225,000 Premio Duomo in Florence, Italy on June 22nd, a lifetime best of 158-1, and has 6 wins and 8 starts in 1990, trained and driven by Orion Kihlström, Mr. Lukin.
Mr. Lukin is a 6-year-old who has also been up against the top horses in the world. He rides and trots mostly in Italy and Sweden, and we've also seen some champion horses come over from Sweden. Mr. Lukin is a horse, I believe, with a lot of speed, who might be out there early.
And Mr. Lukin we saw last week. As you take a look at the International Trot Globe and International Trot Wreath, which are evident in the Yonkers Raceway Winner's Circle. Returning to the post parade, from post position 4, representing Canada, a 5-year-old brown gelding by Briscoe Hanover, owned and trained by Ron Waples Jr. This Canadian standout won the $73,000 Sumac Lad final at the Meadowlands in February, set a stakes record in the Jazzman Trot at Blue Bonnets in his last start, closing in on $900,000 in career earnings, and driven by Ron Waples Sr. No sex, please.
The Yonkers faithful know Ron Waples quite well. He won the big race here 3 weeks ago with June's Baby. He knows what it takes to get the job done on the Yonkers track. No sex, please, has won his last 3 races and comes in here primed for a good effort. Ron
Waples also drove Kick Up a Storm to the inaugural Art Rooney Pace title. From post position 5, representing the United States, a 5-year-old bay mare by Speedy Crown, owned by Johan Dieden. This veteran has set 3 world's records in her last 3 starts, including a 157-2 in last week's Stars and Stripes Invitational at Yonkers, a new mark for an age mare on a half-mile track. Trained by Bjorn Berglund and driven by Bernd Lindstedt, the defending international trot champion, Kit Lobel.
And chances are, Gary, she has never been better. Kit Lobel is at the top of her game, has been raced sparsely this year, and I don't think there's any question that his connections have been pointing him for this one, trying to defend his international title.
And certainly coming into this race on the proverbial roll. From post position 6, representing France, a 5-year-old bay horse by Chambon, owned by Jean Becquer. This Frenchman set a new track record for a 1.5 miles at Vincennes in 1989. Last season was also victorious in the Prix Loupé and the Grand Prix des Louets. Trained by Patrick Porret and driven by Pierre Vercrues. Tipouf.
Tipouf is probably a long shot in this field, has been 0 for 9 this year in Europe and has lost to REVE UDON on several occasions. Would be a bit of a surprise if this one was competitive against this very strong field.
From post position 7, representing the Netherlands, a 9-year-old bay horse by Japy Dubois. This foreigner was a $5,000 purchase for owner Anton Block in 1989 and has earned more than $200,000 in the past year, earning Horse of the Year honors in Holland. Trained and driven also by Anton Block. He does it all. The Cinderella story of this year's international, Yellowa.
Yellowa is a late developing horse, to say the least. He is now running in his best form at age 9, which is a major surprise. The Netherlands not quite as known for its thoroughbred and or harness handicapping horses. He would be also a surprise to me too, but might turn out to be a crowd favorite.
And finally, from post position 8, representing Italy, a 6-year-old bay horse by Crowns Christie, owned by Allevamento La Principessa. This late bloomer won the Swedish Cup at Solvalla in a record 157-1 and has boosted his lifetime earnings to over $220,000. Trained and driven by Mauro Baroncini, Bravur's son.
Although an Italy bred has done most of its running in Sweden and also knows how to get to the winner's circle, has won 7 of 10 this year. Post position 8 might be a bit of a problem for a horse that's used to running on a mile track here on a half-mile at the Big Y Yonkers.
So those are the contestants for tonight's 32nd International Trot, carrying a purse of $450,000, the richest race in the more than 3 decades of this World Classic. Even though Kit Lobel comes in with 3 world records under her belt in her last 3 starts, this really is an open race, and it should be quite an exciting contest. The distance is 1.25 miles. We will have it next for you on this special edition of Summer Racing 90. As the international globes are in the background, let's take a look at the odds for tonight's 32nd International Trot. Meadow Roland has been established as the 2-to-1 favorite. Rev Dudan 3-to-1. Mr. Lucan at 10-to-1. No Sex Please at 5-to-1. Kit Lobel 8-to-5. Tipouf and Yellowa long shots, as is Bravur's son from the 8-hole with Mauro Baroncini in the bike. Earlier this evening, of course, we spoke to our ace handicapper John Gallo, and his selection, Go USA.
Will miracles ever cease? We've got a 5-year-old mare who broke 3 world records in a row. I'm talking about Kit Lobel. What an impressive trotter we have here this evening. The key factor in here is that she was prepped in the Stars and Stripes trot last week and blew by the field in a world record of 157-2, going right by Scenic Regal, put the mare to shame. Kit Lobel should be very impressive in here tonight. We're looking for another world record. It's warm, it's humid. I see this horse going wire to wire. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Kit Lobel, an impressive winner this evening.
John Gallo, the true American, going USA in the International, Jody Mack.
And Kit Lobel deserves his favorite status, not only because he won it this year, but because he knows this track, is at the top level of her game right now. And I'm surprised, even at 3-to-2, that the horse hasn't been bet down more than that.
A horse, though, that you seem to have fallen in favor with, Rev Dudan, driven by Yves Druex.
Also is getting some backing here, is presently the 3rd choice at 3-to-1. How can you knock a horse that's 5 for 7 this year and has already won over $1.4 million in his career?
And as Jean Rio told us, anything can happen in a horse race, and he seemed to like the chances of REVE UDON, even though he really wouldn't come out and say that this was a favorite. And we have a highlight of REVE UDON winning the European Championship on June 14th in France. And REVE UDON was all the best in this race. And Jody, this race was a $100,000 race, and as Jean Rio was telling us, the purse for the International, $450,000. This is the largest purse that many of these European drivers and horses will go for in a course of the year or several years.
That's why you have to like a horse like REVE UDON, Gary. For him to have amassed $1.4 million during his career, that means that he is there each and every single time. They don't have the $1 million races like they have here, or the $450,000 races like we have here at Yonkers tonight. And REVE UDON is a horse that has a lot of speed and will probably try and be close early on coming out of the 2-hole. Kit Lobel, we know, is a horse that likes to come off the pace. We'll have to see the way that the race breaks down.
Now this is a 1.25 miles. Jody, let's give a quick look at the late odds board and see what the Yonkers faithful think as they go to the gate.
Well, they've made Kit Lobel the 6-5 odds-on choice. REVE UDON is presently at 3-1. Meadow Roland also getting some support on the rail at 5-2. No Sex Please with Ron Waples out of the 4-hole is your 4th choice. There you have it. Long shots on the outside. The horses to watch are the 5 and the 2.
It is the 32nd International Trot. 8 horses, 7 countries. The purse $450,000 for the World Trotting title. Let's go upstairs to track announcer Bob Meyer.
Thank you, Gary. And they're off. Meadow Roland along the inside tries for the lead. Mr. Lucan towards the outside second. REVE UDON in between horses third. No Sex Please fourth. Kit Lobel fifth. To Poof the outside sixth. That's Kit Lobel off stride. As they come by the stands the first time, Meadow Roland in front by 3 lengths. REVE UDON second. Mr. Look on the outside third. No Sex Please on the rail fourth. To Poof the outside fifth. Yellow was sixth. Quarter time is 29-3. Approaching the clubhouse turn the first time. Meadow Roland leads by 3/4 of a length. REVE UDON the outside second. No Sex Please on the rail third. Mr. Lucan alongside fourth. Yellow on the rail fifth. On the outside to Poof sixth. Gap of 4 lengths. Kit Lobel back trotting on the outside seventh. Bravo Sun trails the field eighth. Down the back stretch. Meadow Roland on the inside hangs on the lead by a neck. REVE UDON right there alongside second. No Sex Please on the rail third. Mr. Look on the outside fourth. Halftime is 1 minute and 1/5. Approaching the paddock turn. Meadow Roland still in front by a half length. REVE UDON the outside second. No Sex Please along the rail third. Mr. Look on the outside fourth. Yellow on the rail fifth. To Poof the outside sixth. Bravo Sun seventh. Kit Lobel trails the field eighth. As they come by the stands the second time, Meadow Roland still in front by a half length. REVE UDON still on the outside second, challenging. No Sex Please comfortable on the rail third. 3/4, 1:29-3. Around the clubhouse turn the final time. Meadow Roland on the inside, REVE UDON on the outside, battle it out. With No Sex Please sliding to the outside third. Mr. Lucan moves up on the inside fourth. 2 lengths back to Yellow fifth. To Poof the outside sixth. Down the back stretch, Meadow Roland on the inside, REVE UDON on the outside now gets a neck in front. Approaching the mile mark, REVE UDON on the outside in front by a half length. Meadow Roland right there on the rail second with No Sex Please third. The mile in 1:59 flat. Around the far turn, REVE UDON in front by a length. Meadow Roland hangs tough on the rail second. No Sex Please the far outside third. 3 of them across the track. 4 lengths back to Mr. Lucan fourth. They approach the head of the stretch. REVE UDON out the center track with the lead. Meadow Roland on the rail second and No Sex Please. Through the stretch, REVE UDON in front by a length and a half. 2 lengths, No Sex Please second. REVE UDON in front. Here's the finish. Number 2, REVE UDON, a winner by about 2 lengths. Number 4, No Sex Please second. Number 1, Meadow Roland was third. The time for the 1.25 miles, 2:28-3. Let's go back to Gary and Jody.
REVE UDON in a time of 2:28-3. That is a new international trot record, breaking the previous mark of Lutin Desailly set in 1984 of 2:30 and